This is The Scoop for Monday.
I'm Sean Canan with the WMNF News headlines. Fish have been spinning themselves to death in waters from the Keys up to Boynton Beach. Scientists have found toxins from algae blooms in affected waters. The harmful algal bloom task force met Friday to discuss cases of spinning fish. Florida Fish and Wildlife Section Leader Carolyn Gorga works with research teams to find what mixture of toxins is associated with spinning fish.
The University of South Alabama and Dauphin Island Sea Lab have identified multiple toxins produced by benthic dinoflagellates, ciguatoxins, mitotoxins, gambarones, ocadaic acid, portamines, and other cyclic amines in extracts of water samples, benthic microalgal samples, and in clinically affected fish. And algal extracts have induced unusual swimming behavior in exposed fish.
Researchers say affected fish often recover when they're moved to cleaner water. Scientists brought a flailing sawfish to an aquarium in Boynton Beach on April 5th, where it's recovering. Student protesters supporting Palestine at the University of Florida are now vulnerable to suspension during protests on campus. WLRN's Anita Lee reports.
In Gainesville, protesters have demanded that UF stop doing business with companies selling weapons or military technology to Israel. According to Fresh Take Florida, the university released a list of prohibited activities after protests began, banning bullhorns, public disruption, and tents, among other restrictions. Students found in violation could face suspension for up to 3 years. UF staff, meanwhile, could face termination. This comes as colleges and universities across the country are cracking down on a recent surge in students protesting against the Israel-Hamas war. Fresh Take Florida reports that no arrests have been made as of this airing. UF has the largest Jewish student population in the country, with 6,500 students as of 2023. I'm Anita Lee in Miami.
Governor DeSantis has signed one bill requiring disclaimers on certain political ads created using artificial intelligence, and he's signed another bill regulating vape products. Margie Menzel has more.
The disclaimer bill will require political ads that contain images, video, audio, graphics, or other digital content created using artificial intelligence to include a disclaimer. Another bill will establish an advisory council at the Department of Management Services to advise the legislature on new technologies, including artificial intelligence. Meanwhile, DeSantis has signed a bill that targets vape products geared toward children, setting up a process for Attorney General Ashley Moody to go after illegal electronic cigarette manufacturers and sellers. The bill focuses on single-use electronic cigarettes and will allow Moody's office to set up a registry of products deemed off-limits after an administrative process. I'm Margie Menzel.
After Beyoncé's genre-defying release of her new album last month, WMNF's Chris Young reports on a local Tampa folk artist also mixing genres and breaking expected norms.
How many
Oklahoma-raised, Florida-based musician known partly doesn't like to put her music in a box.
People want to name things to feel like they understand it, and that kind of just causes more division.
The singer and instrumentalist studied jazz in college, but she learned everything she knew about folk while living in the upper Midwest.
I spent a lot of that time living in my car and busking, and I met a lot of fellow travelers during that time. And I just gained so much inspiration during that period of my life.
Her music now has Americana, folk, and indie influences with a modern twist.
And even though I am Black, I wouldn't say that my music is, R&B music, or even just because I play a band, it doesn't mean that this is going to be a country song. It's just, I don't know. Music is, it reaches so much further than the lines, than the categories. So I just try not to even think about that at all.
What Known Partly would rather think about are the tough existential questions that she wants to ask in her lyrics. She says she feels a visceral presence when she performs, no matter if it's a country or pop venue.
To show up to a gig with no other expectations other than to play your music and enjoy what you're doing. I think that will just take you everywhere that you need to go.
She plans to release her first album by the end of this summer. For WMNF News, I'm Chris Young.
Today it'll be partly cloudy and breezy and hot with highs in the high 80s. Tonight mostly clear. Overnight lows tonight will be in the high 60s, and tomorrow partly sunny and hot with a slight chance of a rain shower. Highs tomorrow in the high 80s. I'm Sean Canan with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.